Tale of Two Americas. Results of a decade of search data now on Google. New York Times is offering a rather disturbing portrait of different subjects that occupy the thoughts of richer America and poorer America, offering a glimpse into the day-to-day thinking of the nation's inequality. Oh, jeez. Now, this is really interesting when you forget about all of the social crap that the New York Times is trying to jam down your throat. But just listen to the difference in searches by social class. Number one, in the easiest places, and you're going to have to search this because I don't even know what it is. ELPH. E-L-P-H. Know what that is? In the hardest places, free diabetic. Number two, jogger. In the hardest places, Antichrist. 4, holiday greetings. In the hardest places, ways to lower your blood pressure. Number 5, in the rich place, iPad applications. Number 5, in the poor places, diabetic diets. Number 14, baby massage. Number 14, in the poor places, selling Avon. Number 15, Microsoft Entourage. Number 15, Deny Me. Number 16, New Nano. Number 16, in the poor places, Go to Heaven. Number 17, The Dollar. In the poor places, causes of high blood pressure. I mean, it's interesting that you look in the poorest of places, and it's generally about health and eating right and God, and everything else is about technology and apps and baby massages. Really, really fascinating. Now, I don't know how much you put into that because also there is one of my favorite reports today. Odd Google search suggestions. And what this is...
It's the autocomplete, right?
Right, the autocomplete, which means that when you're completing stuff, when it's auto-completing, it's showing that the system is saying this is what people are searching for. When you complete this many letters, most people are looking for this. So here they are. When you fill out, why does my arm shake? A, it fills out, why does my arm shake and turn red when I eat dirt?
So, obviously, a number of people have searched for that.
Are turning red and their arms are shaking after they eat dirt. Okay. The other ones, why does my arm shake and turn red when I eat dirt? Why does my arm shake and turn red? Why does my arm shake after working out?
That one kind of makes sense.
Then, when you type in, is it rude to fart, it auto inserts, is it rude to fart in public? Is it rude to fart at a urinal? I mean, you're at a urinal, man. Is it rude to fart when someone is crying? Yes. Yes.
I don't know. I mean,
is it really? I mean, it might. You know what? It might lighten the mood a bit. Yeah. It might lighten the mood a bit. You're like, might help. I know how you feel. Here's my favorite. In the drop-down box, the fifth one is it rude to fart in Japan? So maybe there's a lot of people that are traveling over to Japan, and they're like, I've heard they're very strict on this.
Over there.
You got to get all your farting out before you get there.
Can you imagine holding it the entire trip?
That is really rude.
That is really
I've got to go. I've got to get on this plane now. Why can't I owe? And it fills in, why can't I own a Canadian?
I think there's an amendment about that.
I think there is.
Yeah, I think there is.
Emancipation Proclamation comes to mind.
Yeah, remember when we had the Canadians?
Does that apply to Canadians, though? I don't know if it does. We have to get a clarification from the constitutional.
Then there's a couple that make sense. Why can't I open Facebook? Why can't I open PDF? But then the last one is, why can't I ollie?
Is that a skateboarding?
Is that what it is? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that it turned out to be a skateboard thing. Okay, so pickles are D.
You search Google for pickles are D.
And it comes out, pickles are disgusting. Pickles are delicious. And here's my favorite. Pickles are destroying my life.
What kind of life do you have that can be destroyed by a pickle? That's not a good life to begin with.
I mean, you could think maybe it was people who have been fired from the fast food industry because they put too many or too few pickles on
maybe
hamburgers. I don't know. How to raise your IQ. First drop-down box, how to raise your IQ. Okay, got it. Next one, how to raise your IQ by eating gifted children.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
Does that work?
I don't know. You've been apparently eating many small children for a long time.
I was so
apparently
confused.
not.
There were so many jokes that came to my head at the same time.
Okay. Stop, finish. It's just actually stop, Finny, F-I-N-I. Stop, Finny. Stop finishing my awesome jokes is the first suggestion. Stop finishing my sentences, which is ironic in the Google
Yes.
auto. Really. Stop finishing my sentences, Google, and stop finishing people's sentences. When will
First one makes a lot of sense.
when will Jesus return?
That is on Google.
I'm pretty sure that Google doesn't have the answer.
No, probably
You
not.
could
but I'll
probably
bet
search
people
that
asked
one.
it.
Wouldn't it
I'll
be
bet people
amazing
asked
if
it.
you clicked on that and it just said Tuesday, 4:30? When will Jill Duggar's wedding air? Who's Jill Duggar?
No idea.
We should Google search.
It's a family show. The Duggars. They have 19 kids.
Yeah, the 19 kids.
Oh, okay. When will Jill Duggar get married? She has 19 kids and she's not married?
Jill's
There's
probably
one of the
daughters,
kids.
yeah.
It's probably
Okay.
one of the kids.
She might be the 8.
I'm like,
18.
what a slut. But a responsible one. She
Right.
is
Yeah,
keeping
she's
all
getting-
of the children.
And there you go.
And getting married now.
Right, getting
That's
married.
what Google
Just didn't
said.
rush into it.
All right, so when will Jesus return makes sense, but the last suggestion that Google fills in for you is when will Jesus bring the pork chops? Now, I'm guessing that maybe it's Jesus and not Jesus, because Jesus was a Jew,
Yeah.
so I'm not sure if he's bringing pork chops with him.
Good
But-
point.
Well, we know he didn't eat them.
Right.
That's interesting.
Okay. Do G-I-N, gin. Do gin, it finishes. Do gingers have souls?
Do we have an answer to that? Anyone know?
I've known a few gingers.
Did any of them have
I don't think
souls?
they did.
No? Okay.
Do gingers have souls? Do gingers tan? Do gingers steal souls?
Are gingers a group of beings that I don't know about?
Soul stealing.
I
don't know. What is a ginger? Google search ginger.
Well, it's a redhead, right?
Oh, redheads definitely steal souls, and they don't have them.
Mm-hmm.
I can answer that one. Put that up on YouTube or someplace so my answer comes back. Yes, gingers steal souls, and they don't have any.
But there are a lot of people searching Google to try to find the answer if gingers steal souls?
I know, it's crazy because it's clear they do. Okay, why is there a D? It fills in. Why is there a dark side of the moon? It's called the sun, dummy. Why is there a dark side of the moon? Next one is, why is there a dead Pakistani on my couch?
How many people has that happened to?
A lot.
You know, apparently enough.
Apparently
the Google's
quite a
like,
few.
yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
people are.
Finish it for them.
Finish it for them.
You know what they're going to say.
Yes. Why? Ginger was at your house. Why is there a D in Wednesday?
It's a good question.
I don't think there's a definitive answer to that one, though. Why is there a
Unions.
dinosaur in the back cave?
It's all unions.
Is it?
They put the D in there.
Yeah.
Typical.
Yeah, they were like, D's are not being used enough. Why is there a dinosaur in the back cave?
I didn't know there was one.
Didn't know that either. Help, I'm a P. First auto fill in from Google says, help, I'm a prisoner in the library. Next one, help, I'm a prisoner in a Chinese bakery. Okay. Help, I'm a prisoner in the library summary. Help, I'm a prisoner in the library questions. I don't understand any of those.
No.
I once saw a man with no shoes. I once saw a crackhead breastfeeding a rat.
Okay, that's unusual.
Well, Well,
That's unusual.
Apparently
not that unusual.
unusual. You're like, Google should say, I know, a lot of people have seen that. I once saw a man who wasn't there. I once saw a man from Nantucket. Sometimes I like to tea. It fills into sometimes I like to tape my thumbs. So I don't know if you're searching for, like, is there anybody else out there? Because we should start a club. Sometimes I like to think of the sun and moon as lovers. Sometimes I like to think of Jesus as a mischievous badger. What? It's like Salvador Dali on Google a lot. Sometimes I like to throw a grenade and walk away. What happens when you FAR? Fills in, of course, just adding a T. What happens when you fart? Mm-hmm. The next one is, what happens... This, I want, Google this and see if you can find the answer. What happens if you fart in space?
It's a good question.
It's a very good question.
And obviously many people have asked it.
Well, you wouldn't be able to smell it because...
Well, inside the suit you would.
Well, but that's not actually farting in space. That's in your enclosed atmosphere. So you'd have to have a little butt valve.
A butt valve?
A butt valve that you could open up on the back of your spacesuit.
A butt valve.
Don't Google search butt valves.
No, not going to do that.
I'm afraid what you might find.
That one will fill in on autofill in on Jeffy's
That leads you to one of Jeffy's websites.
Yeah.
What happens if you fart in a smart car? Blows the back door off, I think. And what happens if you fart a lot?
You don't have a lot of friends. I could auto fill in that answer for you.
Okay. Here's another group. Have you found the fart in space thing?
I'm seeing some speculation on it.
You have any credible, like, I'd like something from MIT?
There's a science museum answer here.
Does NASA have anything to say on the subject? It has to have happened.
Better
right?
than the stuff James Hansen's done for the organization.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay. For an astronaut,
Rafe and I actually watched a video last night of NASA was testing, can cats right themselves in space? You know how cats, you throw them up?
Yeah.
And they always land on their feet.
Around on their
it's
feet.
an amazing thing to watch them in slow motion.
Mm-hmm.
And because you throw them up and they extend their back legs and pull in their front legs, which makes their front twist faster than their back. As soon as their eyes see which way is up, they can turn one half of their body. They cut their body almost in half. They can turn one half faster than the back half. It's an amazing thing to watch. But in this explanation of it, they were showing old footage from the 1950s and 60s of NASA up in those planes, that everybody barfs in. Mm-hmm. And they were throwing cats in low gravity, and they were throwing them up, and the cats were trying to right themselves, and they couldn't. And it's...
So
I mean, I'm just saying that it might have been entertaining for a couple of 10-year-old boys, or a 10-year-old and a 50-year-old to watch over and over and over again. Just saying.
So the scientific answer here is if you were to fart in space and then open the flap to let your fart out of your spacesuit, your blood would boil, your skin and internal organs would swell up, and then you would freeze afterwards.
Well, that's opening up a flap. I need the butt valve.
Yeah.
I need the butt valve answer.
I'll look for a butt valve.
Okay, good. I think that's an important, what happens if you fart in space? That one was an important drop-down box. That's like, hey, I'm going to space. What happens if I fart in space? That's a good answer to know. Don't. Your blood will boil and your organs will melt. Here's your sponsor this half hour, and boy, are they proud to be a sponsor, I'm sure, this half hour. It is Gold Line.